This next story on Ed Schultz News and Commentary is about parents who care. It's about a community that is torn, and it's about money. It's into the bullseye of decision-making process on what we do about public education in this country. Are we going to resource every community? Are we going to do what we have to do to make sure that every American, every school child gets an opportunity to advance in our system? Now, the funding for schools comes from state and local, most of it, okay? No Child Left Behind ripped off the scab and proved that the federal money doesn't always show up. What we have unfolding in the city of Chicago is really unprecedented. There are a number of parents who are now on a 10-day hunger strike. This has gotten very little national attention. They're on a hunger strike because a school, Diet High School in Bronzeville, is going to be closed, and they don't agree with it, to the point where they're on a hunger strike. There have been numerous demonstrations surrounding the decision-making process by the members of the Chicago Board of Education, who have voted to pass a fiscal year 2016 budget, which calls for another $200 million in cuts. Look, if we're not committed to neighborhoods, then what are we committed to? This was never a fight in America in yesteryear. But because of the money and because of our funding process, it has become a fight. How do you raise property taxes when you have low-income neighborhoods trying to survive with their school system and get resourced properly? How do you do that? You can't. And the resources have got to come from the outside. And the fact of the matter is Chicago has been dealing with budget deficits for a long time. And I've been on record for years saying that federal money needs to be put into this system more so than other schools. Chicago's problem is more than unique. And the neighborhoods are going through a transformation that is just too fast for people to financially keep up. So I'm joined today with a couple of people who are very, very close to this story, obviously. Jeanette Taylor-Ramann. She is a member of the local school council at Mollison Elementary on Chicago's South Side. She is one of the 12 parents and community members on a hunger strike to keep open the last open enrollment high school in Bronzeville. Jeanette, good to have you with us on Ed Schultz News and Commentary.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Where are you right now, and what is your situation?
I'm in the hospital. I was kept overnight for observation. I passed out at a CPS board meeting. I don't remember much of what happened after me speaking, and so I was rushed to Northwestern Hospital. And I'm here waiting for the doctors to tell me what's the results of an MRI I took yesterday and when they're going to release me to come home.
And you are one of the 12 parents on the hunger strike. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Why are you doing this?
Correct. Because I've done everything that Chicago Public Schools has asked me to do. I've been on the local school council since I was 19. I'm 40. I participated in numerous forums that they have, even jumped through the hoops of them in the RFP process, being part of the writing team for Diet Global Leadership and Green Technology. But Chicago Public Schools doesn't honor its own requests. And so after they canceled a meeting on August 10th, that was it. The line had been drawn in the sand. Enough is enough. You can't continue to ignore low-income and working families. And so decided with 11 other brave people to go on a hunger strike.
So that capsulizes what's going on. They are ignoring and not funding low-income neighborhoods for public education. Is that it?
That's correct. Really low-income families. Because in the fourth ward where Diet sits, Hyde Park is part of the Fourth Ward, but those parents are in Hyde Park. And so our Alderman, Will Burns, who does not care about low-income working families, he honors those families in Hyde Park, but ignores the families in Kenwood, Oakland, and Bronzeville.
So there's an injustice being played out here to the point where parents have gone on a hunger strike to get attention.
That's correct. We went to jail. This is not the first thing we've done. We went to jail several times. We've sat at the mayor's office. We've done everything that we think we could do. And the hunger strike was the last straw to show our young people that they are vital and there are people who love them. And so I'm in the hospital. I'm still not taking food. The only thing I'm still drinking is water and some juice. The hunger strike does not stop because I'm in hospital.
Jeanette, people, at least in past news experience, people that go on a hunger strike are willing to die for the issue. Are you willing to die for this issue?
I'm willing to die. My kids need to know that somebody loves them. One of the reasons why the crime rate is so high in Chicago is because we don't protect our young people. This generation is not lost. It's been neglected. And so there are not enough people doing what I'm doing, but I want to show people around the world that it's somebody who cares for these young people. I'm willing to die. I said that the very first day. When I leave this hospital today, I'm going home to get some rest, and I will be right back out there tomorrow on a hunger strike. I am still refusing to eat. These young people need this school. Education is the key to everything. And if they don't get it, we're going to have a bunch of kids who rob and steal just to live. And that's not fair to them. What is the American dream? For me and my young people, it's just to be educated. And I thought education was a human right.
Education is a human right in America, and that's how it's got to be viewed. But right now it's being viewed as just a line item budget. And if you don't have the money, then they're going to exclude kids. They're going to pick and choose neighborhoods. And that's exactly what they're doing, and it's wrong. It's not American. It's against everything we've ever believed in to make this country great. And I think that there is also a race element involved in all of this. Jeanette Taylor-Ramann.
Most definitely, yes.
Jeanette Taylor-Ramann, I appreciate it. I'll be back in touch with you. We're going to follow this story. You keep the faith, and hopefully things will work out. I appreciate your time here. Thanks so much. I want to turn now to Jesse Sharkey, who is the vice president of the Chicago Teachers Union. Jesse, good to have you with us on Ed Schultz News and Commentary.
Thanks for having me on.
What do you make of Jeanette?
She's incredible, a courageous leader in the community who's an inspiration to us all, and they have our full support.
What's the solution here? Money?
One of the issues is just that we have an appointed school board, which the mayor appoints, and we're afraid that they just want to give that school to a charter school, and that's part of what's going on. This is about run-of-the-mill privatization and cronyism. CPS has a long history of ignoring community demands. They did it when they closed 50 schools in 2013, and back in 2001, it took a group of neighborhood activists, 19-day hunger strike, to win a school in a Latino neighborhood. So we're afraid that this is sort of a part of the course of CPS.
So you said something very important at the very top of that answer, is that this is an appointed board. They're not elected by the community. They're appointed by the mayor. We all know what Rahm Emanuel's all about, and his idea of revolutionizing education in this country is going to leave a lot of kids behind. It's going to pick and choose neighborhoods. This is unprecedented, that you have got a number of parents on a hunger strike. What's the conclusion here? Do you think this is going to move the decision makers at all?
I think the problem right now is the decision makers are really dug in behind their agenda. So when you mentioned earlier about the context of financial crisis, that's really true. They passed a budget which not only has $200 million of cuts, at the same time that they just got done handing over $200 million of interest rate, auction rate, bond swap profits to the Bank of America. I mean, literally, the windfall profits to the banks from these high-risk financial deals that they've been doing are greater than the cuts. So they're making these cuts, and then the budget has another $500 million worth of cuts on top of that, unless they roll the dice and get lucky down in Springfield by taking money out of the pensions. So they built themselves a real mess And, the only way you can push that through is if you don't have democratic accountability. You've got corporate control, and that's at the root of it.
That is the root of it. And so it can be twofold for them. Number one, they can get the charter schools. Number two, they can destroy the union by going after the pensions. And that's what's happening.
That's what's happening.
God. Jesse Sharkey, keep up the fight. We're going to stay on this story. I don't know why it hasn't gotten more national attention. But if it's going to happen in Chicago, it's going to be the model for other big cities across this country, and it will revolutionize public education. It will pick and choose neighborhoods, and it will pick and choose what kids are going to have an opportunity and what kids are not going to have an opportunity. That's not the country I grew up in, and I don't think it's the country that we want to manage in the future.
That's right.
Good to have you with us, Jesse. Thank you so much.
Thank you.